Hello, Biology 105. I've gotten a few emails about the online lab, and I just wanted a virtual lab, and so I just wanted to walk through that with you all. Uh, and listening to my last video, I realized I was sniffling then and didn't realize I was about to get sick. So please bear with me. There may be some coughing or sneezing throughout this, but I am feeling like I'm on the upswing, just still not at 100%. So about this virtual lab, let's go over to modules, which again is where you find all of your labs or everything that you need for the week. And so I hope you've taken a look at things in week 1 and 2, since that's where we are. Moving on to week 2, you see that this is the natural selection lab and you have the worksheet. So what I want to do first of all is go ahead and open the worksheet so you can see what that entails. You should by now have an idea, but just in case you did not know, we're going to go ahead and open that up. It opened outside the box for me, so we'll pull this up and you'll see what you need to do. The first thing you'll see, if you haven't already viewed it, is a chart that I wanted you to fill out, and then you want to move on to answering the questions that are here. So this chart is what we're going to talk about filling out while you're doing the lab, and then these questions are yours to answer using any means of information that you can. That means the internet or your book or any resource. As it is, it's an online assignment, so I do expect you to look for answers if they are not immediately within your reach in your book. So I added more questions than I normally do. I usually try and keep it to 10 or 15, but because you all are new to this subject and we had a test coming up, I thought this was a tricky way of getting you to study for the test as well. Sorry, but I'm just being honest about it, because you know you won't study if I don't give you some reason to look at the information. All right, that's some of you, not all. Do not be offended. Okay, so we have this chart here. So you're saying, so how do I fill out this chart, Dr. Walthall? All right, so if we go back over to Canvas and we go back into our module, sorry, I just wanted to pull up the worksheet so we would have it available and I wouldn't have to pull it up as we were doing the work. All right, so you want to go then and click on Natural Selection Virtual Lab, and this will come up, and you want to click on the words so that it will then take you to the website where the lab is. So over here, if you weren't in class, you remember I said this is the procedure, and it tells you the background information, and then it moves on down to the objectives of the lab, and then the procedure so you can go through. So it tells us to choose a mutation to investigate. For us, I think in class we did large body, long legs. And then it said to click the conditions. And so we'll say a new predator was added. And then it asks us to begin natural selection. Before you do that, you should take a look to see what is going on in the picture. So you see there's a fox, 3 normal rabbits, assume, and then 1 mutant. So once we click begin natural selection,
5 generations later.
So 5 generations later, we see that there are more mutants in the field than normal. And so now, as it says on number 4, you want to go ahead and click the population graph. And so once you click this, it tells you that the blue line represents the normal animals that were in the 5 generations. And then the orange line represents the mutant animals that were in the 5 generations. And so when you go to your chart and it's asking you questions about generations 0 through 5, it is asking you for these numbers. So we see we are in 1A population graph. So that means that we're going to fill out everything that's in 1A. So we want to say on 1A how many normals were in generation 0. And so to find out how many normals were in that generation, you just go population 0, go up to where the blue line, and that's 50. So you want to then put 50 and population 0. Alright. Then how many mutants were in 1A? We go back to, and we see at 0 generation, as you see the 0, this is generations, we see that there were 10 mutants because the mutant line is orange. So then now I go back and I put 10. So we're on our 1A population. We had in generation 0, 50 normal and 10 mutants. So now I go and look at the first generation. First generation, I see that it looks like it's 42. I haven't counted the lines between, but it looks like this is about 9 lines probably. And so I'm going to say that this is 42 normal and about 18 mutants. So going back in, generation 1, we have 42 normal and 18 mutants. And we keep doing this for each generation. For generation 2, looked like you had about 21 mutants and about 36, 35 normal. I'm going to go with 35 normal and 21 mutants. So we'll go back here, and this just keeps going. 21 mutants and about 36 normal. So I think you got the picture now of how you continuously fill out this chart. So you want to just use the graph to give you the numbers for each of those generations. So we can close the graph. And then we need to start again. So it says repeat the virtual lab and investigate different mutations and conditions. So we've done large body, long legs. Now we can go ahead and do B, which would be restricted food, and begin natural selection for it.
5 generations later.
And so now you have the graph for 1B. And so now you're looking at the normal and mutants for 1B. And so again, showing you on your sheet, you're here, 1B. And so what does that look like? And I'll just do generation 0 numbers just to keep us moving. We said generation 0, you had, again, 10 mutants and 50 normal. And so you'll go ahead and place that on your sheet. Again, starting out, which makes sense because it's the same population. We now have just changed from predator to food source. And if we look at generation 1, I'll do one more with you. It looks again like you have 12 and about 48 normal. So we have about 48 normal in generation and about 12 mutants. And so on and so forth. Then when you move on, as you continue to go through, you'll change and go to number 2, and that will give you an A and B for that, and then number 3. And so this is how you complete that chart above. Once you've done that and answered the questions, you would have completed your online lab for the week and hopefully have learned a lot of information that will help you actually on your exam. All right. Hope that this has been helpful. Please let me know, as you've been doing, via inbox on Canvas if you have any questions. Thanks.